About last week, in February 16th, the Royal Champion received a complete rework. The rework really had one highlight, which is the third bounce. It sounded broken on paper. Paper? Are we in 1999? Who uses paper these days? It sounded broken on Google Documents, and the community went into panic mode, complaining like there is no tomorrow. I don't blame any of you guys, because back when me and the other creators received early information on that rework, we kind of also were panicking way too much because of how strong the new rework felt. But turns out, the new Royal Champion is actually kind of stinky. But why? Like, what exactly went wrong to make all the significant changes she got feel useless? There's actually multiple things that caused the downfall of the Royal Champion, and in this video I'll be presenting the issues and explaining why it just didn't work out. Number 1. The damage. The Royal Champion does deal a decent amount of damage, but don't let that trick you into thinking she does enough. Just bring one golden boy and suddenly she heavily needs to rely on another DPS support. Besides that, the fact that the clash ability was removed means that she lost a 20% chance to deal around 18 damage on round 1, since people tend to line up all 3 minis and take big risks as they should. Also, with the removal of the clash ability, she also lost the ability to control special tiles, which was one of the very good things about her. One other thing that was changed in the patch is the shield damage going from 6 to 5. I at first thought that wasn't much of a big deal because like it's just 1 damage, but like here, take a look at those 2 elixir minis. They're all at 6 HP, which means a Royal Champion can't even get a reset from them anymore. But you might think, well, she can just kill them and gain the energy without that shield anyway, as like that's part of her new ability. Well, think again, because like the Barbarian King gets a shield that lasts for 10 years, so good luck waiting for that to be over. You might argue she deals more damage with her super now. I mean, before the rework, 2 shields with 6 damage each gets a total of 12 damage, and after the rework it's 3 shields with 5 damage each, which will get you 15 damage. Well, that's where you are inherently wrong. Most of the time the Royal Champion doesn't even get the third bounce to begin with, because like anyone with more than 1 brain cell will just space away their ranged minis. Number 2. Survivability. The Royal Champion is probably the only hero that genuinely sucks at surviving. Take a look at the list of all the heroes we have and literally think about this. Invisibility, shield plus heal, which is absurd by the way, heal, revive, nothing, shield, heal, heal. Like, how does that seem fair for a ranged hero? If you compare her to the Archer Queen, you can definitely see that a minor connecting to your Royal Champion is clearly a game over, but a minor connecting to your Archer Queen isn't much of a big deal because she will go invisible anyway. And if you look at any other hero, you will find that on average they will most likely survive until overtime, but the Royal Champion will not. She used to be great with the invincibility as it helped her survive, I don't know, 7 seconds? I kind of forgot the exact number, but it felt like eternity. Number 3. Synergy. Another problem with the Royal Champion is that its third upgrade limits what minis you can use with her, as not every mini has a super bar, so that forces players to choose from a small pool of minis that synergizes with her. Now you might say that every hero is like that, as you usually don't really use Battle Healer with Archer Queen or like Mega Knight with Barbarian King, but the difference is, using Battle Healer with Archer Queen will just yield worse results as it's not a meta combo. Using Magic Archer with Royal Champion, the game will straight up say screw you and your third ability, it's wasted. The game is directly punishing the player for picking a specific mini. Now, Royal Champion will be missing out on an ability if she uses stuff like Archer or Wizard instead of like Musketeer or Electro Wizard. The closest I have found to this in other heroes was the Shield Maiden, which in a way encourages using healers with Shield Maiden because her third upgrade gives energy for every heal. But the reason this is different is because of 2 reasons. First one is that half of the ability relies on receiving energy from stuns, which is basically available in every other unit. Second one is about the fact that healing can be found in other sources as well. Stuff like Healing Tile or the Pancaker exist, which would make the ability somewhat usable for the people that decide not to run healing with Shield Maiden, and I'm pretty sure more healing mechanics will be added at some point in the future. Number 4. Standalone value. This is mainly a name I came up with on the spot, so consider it work in progress, or I don't know, that's just beyond our point. Standalone value is about how good the hero is by themselves without needing help from other minis. If you take a look at the monk, he is like an absolute beast on his own, which makes him super good on early game but worse in late game. Barbarian King tend to be decent as he isn't super good alone, but he's an amazing tank which would most likely tank enough and boost attack to ensure whatever minis is placed with him get a lot of value. Basically every single hero is absolutely good on their own except for Royal Champion. The problem with the Royal Champion is that she heavily relies on being supported by other minis, and that the rework made that problem even worse. Back when she had the ability and the shield, she was somewhat great on her own, which made her a decent early game pick. With a new set of abilities, you are set with one of three options. Option A, you use tanks normally to support your ranged hero, but that ultimately ends up making you completely waste the burst energy she gives to surrounding allies. Option B, you use an Electro Wizard or a Musketeer on round 1, but that means you don't have enough tanks, which makes breaking through your front line very easy, especially for heroes like Barbarian King. Seriously, if you go against Barbarian King, just throw the match, like there is no point in trying. Option C, you use tanks with energy, which will force you to place your Royal Champion in the second row, which is very risky for a unit with that low amount of HP. I mean, it's pretty obvious all three choices suck, and the Royal Champion just doesn't provide any standalone value, which was the problem with Archer Queen in Season 3 and Season 4. I guess I just wanted to talk about this change because it felt too OP and ended up being too garbage. The game is either very weird and unpredictable, or we still don't understand the game on a deeper level to be able to predict new metas. Anyway, thanks for listening to my little rant. Subscribe now before I make a 10-hour long rant about how terrible this subscriber percentage is.